It's an FA Cup classic before a ball's been kicked. Yeovil, the most practiced giant killers in Cup history. Arsenal, our most vulnerable giant at the moment. Less vulnerable, though, today for the return of Tony Adams from suspension and Lee Dixon and Paul Merson from injury. Kevin Campbell is relegated to substitute, Anders Limpar promoted to the starting 11. But these are the stars of FA Cup week. Yeovil goalkeeper David Coles has had 16 clubs and never cost one of them a fee. It all began for him as a boyhood Arsenal fan and a teenage Arsenal trialist. A stack of stories of what might have been for these players to tell. Most have had some league experience. Two hard luck stories today. Club captain Mark Shale, Yeovil's outstanding defender, is suspended. Player manager Steve Rutter, just fit after injury, just couldn't find a place for himself. The pitch here, flat and true these days, didn't even warrant an inspection by referee John Lloyd, but thick fog cleared with only 90 minutes to spare. Yeovil start the day as probably the best supported team in the Cup. All the world loves a giant killer on third round Saturday. Tony Adams knows that Arsenal are on a hiding to nothing, and he knows there'll be no hiding place for them if they lose. First to the ball, making his presence felt immediately. This is Hellier, Smith, Paul Merson. Phil Ferns in pursuit, and Merson's away from him, and it needed Barry to get back and make the challenge, and no doubting his fitness after missing the last couple of games. Arsenal's current league form verging on suicidal, source of great encouragement to Yeovil, who've been going along very nicely at their own level, one defeat in their last 15 games. Headers by Paul Wilson. It's the sort of run that I'm sure Arsenal had in mind back in October, and the sort of run that they need again now if they're to reassert their claims to the major prizes. Dixon. Clearance again by Wilson deep in defence. Well dealt with by Adams. Limpar for Winterbird. As you can see, it's quite soft on top. Right held off by Wallace. And Coles comes to claim. Hellier, right. Arsenal settled quite well, but they'll be allowed no time in the middle of the field by players like this one. Batty, upended by David Hellier. Already scored 4 times on Yeovil Town's FA Cup run, Paul Batty. Ferns with a free kick. It's a useful header too coming in from Sherwood. Stolen that from the back. This is Cooper. Not over-blessed with tall players, Yeovil. Arsenal would expect to be able to contain them in that area. But Sherwood's done well again, and Wilson's helped it on to Spencer. But there's a flag up. I think it was Sanderson who just strayed into an offside position. But the pulse quickens in this part of Somerset each time Yeovil cross the halfway line. Merson looking for Dixon. Harrow is scamping back to make it difficult for him. He's picked up Ian Wright with a real chance, but he just lost control of it. And although he cleverly changed his feet and had a jab with his left foot, it wasn't strong enough. Away by Spencer. David Hillier. Anders Limpar. Tackle was firm from Wallace. The shot was firm from Hillier. But Coles managed to hang on. But the Yeovil Town goalkeeper almost embarrassed by a clear opportunity for Ian Wright a moment before that. Just couldn't quite dig it out. Phil Ferns. Spencer's touched it on, and Wilson's got in behind Arsenal here. And Steve Bold did well to recover. Ferns again. Stolen away from him by Smith. This is Merson. Started very positively out on that right-hand side, Paul Merson. But Arsenal have another injury problem. David O'Leary, who's operating at the heart of the midfield alongside David Hillier. And clearly in considerable discomfort. His right shoulder is the problem area. It's the shot by Hillier. Is on target. Smith. Clearances by Sherwood. To Spencer. Bold was quickly in. On by Wallace. Not slow to get men forward, Yeovil. This is Paul Batty. Dobbins will give chase. And Bald's been a busy man in the last couple of minutes. Ironically, he starts the suspension on Saturday. Arsenal having just got back Tony Adams. And what is his first Arsenal suspension in his 10 years with the club. Here, of course, have pulled the other one around the country. But Arsenal, when they have Bold and Adams together, are far more effective, and they're going to be without Bold from the weekend. They're both keeping an eye on Mickey Spencer for the moment. Yeovil Town's leading goal scorer. Seaman has come to claim it. It'd come out as far as Harrower. It's charged down by Hillier. Wilson beaten to it by Bold. Smith. Limpar. Break check by Wayne Dobbins. Yeovil were looking for a free kick there. There was a sharp challenge by Hillier. Arsenal throw. Came off Dobbins last. Smith. Winterburn. Clearance at the stretch by Batty. And David O'Leary waiting behind him. In towards Bold. Met by Wallace. A little bit bit of time for Wayne Dobbins to pick his clearance. Straight down the throat of Lee Dixon, though. Smith got a touch on, away by Ferns, and a good ball too for Sanderson, who's far and away the quickest player in the Yeovil team when he's on his feet. Swept away by O'Leary. Andy Wallace. It's forward for Batty. A little anxious when the opportunity fell for Paul Batty, but the pace of Paul Sanderson is something that Arsenal will be well aware of. They've had Yeovil watched on 3 or 4 occasions over the holiday period. He's tall and rangy and very, very pacey. Spencer. Wilson. Spencer taking it on. He won't need an invitation to shoot. Scored 30 times last season for Yeovil. He's one of those players who's just born to score. Leading scorer again this season with 10. But all that would pale into insignificance compared to one against Arsenal in the Cup. He'll have a go. Batty's header. No free kick. Ferns had a bit more time maybe than he realised, but he's found Wilson. Smith. Winterburn. Paul Merson. Got good support here from Lee Dixon. The return of Merson and Dixon and Adams has given Arsenal a real lift. Here is Tony Adams. Showed a little bit too much of that to Batty, who tries to get Wilson on his way, and Sanderson's breaking down the centre. And Bull just got a foot in, and Yeovil Town will have a corner kick. It could have been worse for Arsenal, but for Steve Bull. Batty with a corner. Flicked on well at the near post by Paul Wilson. Arsenal almost undone. He's a very small striker, but he has a prodigious ability to leap and embarrass defences with little touches on like that. And Arsenal were wrong-footed there for a moment by Wilson's agility at the near post. He's had his fair share of jives down the years as Lee Dixon, but it's been a very good season for him. Helped on by Wilson for Sanderson to chase. Bull taking no chances with the speed of Paul Sanderson. Harrow with the throw. Oh, it might come through here, and there's almost an opportunity for Wayne Dobbins, the fullback, who's stolen in behind Nigel Winterburn, who's yelling at Anders Limpar in front of him. But Dobbins was unseen there, and Seaman came to Arsenal's rescue. Just tiptoeing around the back. Arsenal almost caught by the ambush. Ferns with the clearance. Spencer with the header on. Now Sanderson looking for Wilson. are getting everything that they anticipated in the opening stage of this cup tie. A team almost possessed in their desire to take this one great opportunity for fame and fortune. Free kick taken by Paul Batty, flicked on again by Wilson, hit on the volley by Harrower. But there's a confidence about Yeovil Town which comes from having a good run at your level. They're aiming to make some headlines in the Football League, never mind the FA Cup. It won't be next season. They're currently 7th in the conference, but a full 20 points adrift of Wycombe Wanderers. And a full 90 places adrift of Arsenal on the English football pyramid. But they're ambitious. Sanderson. Adams just got a foot on the ball. One back by Spencer. Dobbins. O'Leary in. Smith is the target. Couldn't quite weight it for Wright, but it's run well for Anders Limpar. Here is Ian Wright. Sherwood given the opportunity to clear, but only as far as Merson. Blocked again by Sherwood. Cooper tidying up. And Dobbins sending Yeovil forward. Spencer, nicely done for Wilson. On for Sanderson. Dixon coming across to cover. But it's an exhilarating opening 15 minutes. Dobbins. Wilson. Run down the right-hand side by Sanderson, in behind Winterburn. Two waiting in the middle, and they're still waiting. Wallace. Almost invited to make some progress himself, but Winterburn held his possession well. This is Ian Wright. Sherwood finding out about his pace now, and Wright has made some space for Alan Smith, but a good challenge coming in from Phil Ferns. Wright stretching his legs to some effect. Good recovery by Ferns, who just lost Smith for half a moment, but got a foot in. Flicked by Bold. Adams had the trigger cocked and ready to fire. Touched away by Wallace. This is Merson. Steve Bold is still in there. And he'll stay for the corner. Touched by Smith this time, not quite what he intended. Away by Paul Wilson. Hilliard just couldn't quite keep his footing. Couldn't quite keep the ball in play. A respite for Yeovil. Ferns. Adams. Offside, Ian Wright. Away by Bold. And then by Hellier. Winterburn. Andy Wallace. Tossed in for Spencer again. Making Steve Bold turn and face his own dead ball line. They've got small, sharp strikers, Yeovil Town, who will be hoping to make darting little runs into the channels around the big Arsenal central defenders. Right. Dixon. Merson. Smith hunted down. Adams hunting out Limpar. Wright had made a slippery little run in behind Wallace there. Ooh. Sherwood almost missing out. Helped out by Coles, but this is Limpar for Wright. Goalkeeper now is back inside his 6-yard box. And the end product a little disappointing from Ian Wright. Yeovil were at 6s and 7s there for a moment. Alan Smith providing the only real support, though. Adams having to take evasive action. It's won back by Cooper. Support from Dobbins. Useful ball in. Wilson's first touch wasn't the best. And it just let Tony Adams in. But it's been an evenly contested opening 20 minutes. This is Sanderson. Wilson had just misread his intentions. Header by Cooper. Touched on by Wilson. This is Spencer. Waiting for Dobbins to make a run to his right. Sanderson just run offside. The man in the centre is Steve Rutter, the player-manager of Yeovil Town. He must have been so tempted to choose himself for this big game. Bold. Sherwood's header. Hellier down for Wright. Got away from Cooper. Got away from Wallace. Couldn't quite get away from goalkeeper David Coles. But it was a menacing run by Ian Wright. Twisting away from two challenges and making space for the shot, which had a fair bit of pace behind it. Wilson doing well in the air again. Adams doing well to win a throw-in off Sanderson. Graham Taylor talks about his utter desire to do well, Tony Adams, and it's such an important factor on a difficult afternoon for Arsenal. If they can match Yeovil Town competitively, they would have to have a chance, and there isn't a more competitive player on the field than their skipper. Limpar. Tossed in towards Smith. O'Leary couldn't quite reach it. In the end, back he got between he and Hillier. Lee Dixon taking it out. It was Ferns who got his head in the way, and Arsenal have a corner. David O'Leary seems to be enjoying himself in midfield, the tender age of 34. Corners in towards Bold. Hellier. Here's O'Leary. Headers by Dobbins. O'Leary again. He's trying to find Limpar. And eventually does via Hillier. And Limpar's got another corner. They certainly haven't approached their task tentatively, though, Arsenal. They've gone for it. Limpar's corner. Ball got a touch on, and Ian Wright gets a touch in. And that puts a completely different complexion on Arsenal's task here today. Such a valuable goal from Ian Wright. His 13th of the season. He scored nearly half the goals that Arsenal have got. And it was the old trick at the near post. Both flick on, and Wright virtually unmarked on the edge of the 6-yard box. His goals output for Arsenal is absolutely extraordinary. It comes down to about 5 for every 7 games that he plays. And it's difficult to put a value on that one. He just gives Arsenal some breathing space on what could have been and still is to a degree an awkward afternoon, but considerably less awkward now that they have their noses in front. Can he kick it? Yes, he can. Now, can Yeovil find an immediate reply to take the smile off George Graham's face? This is Steve Harrower. Touched on by Wilson. No response from any of his colleagues to his left. Free kick has gone against Smith. Dobbins was rather played into trouble there. This is Wallace. Found its way through to right again. Keeper got a foot in. This is Wallace. Smith has won the throw. With 2,000 or so Arsenal fans behind that goal, with much better heart and voice now. Dobbins with the throw for Yeovil. A very clumsy challenge by Limpar. Great flick by Sanderson. Played back into his path by Wilson. Away from Winterburn, but hold is there. Wilson just got jolted as he tried to control the ball under pressure from Adams. Skillfully done by Winterburn, despite the tugging and the pulling. A bit too lively for Ian Wright. Elliott. Bold. Header was by Sherwood. It is Limpar. Wright. Change of pace. Not quite enough to defeat Jeff Sherwood. Almost half an hour gone. Smith with a flick on this time. Wright trying to help it on towards Merson. I'm not quite sure what David Coles had in mind there. He's conceded a corner. And he's seeing a little bit too much of the action for his own liking at the moment. They call him Mr. Angry in these parts. Merson with the corner. Bold arriving. Squirted off a Yeovil head and away for another Arsenal corner. Number 7. Limpar. And this time Coles has a free ride. He had that brief spell at Highbury when he was 15 years of age. David Coles played in one youth team game and started his merry travels around European football. Ian Wright was retiring then, but wasn't flagged by the linesman. This is Alan Smith taking advantage of that interpretation. And now David Hillier taking advantage of some hesitation. Dobbins it was who conceded the corner, quickly taken for Limpar. Hillier. Support coming here from Lee Dixon. And now from Paul Merson. Still 4 in the box. It's behind Ian Wright. Touched away by Wilson. Winterburn. Deflection over the top by Phil Ferns. Good spell this for Arsenal. Building on the advantage that Ian Wright has given them. They're in for the kill at the moment. Merson with a corner. Here comes Bold again. Smuggled away from Wright by Sherwood. Hillier on by Smith. Adams attacking the ball and not getting it. That's what he got. Free kick to Yeovil. Jeff Sherwood, like most of the players in this Yeovil side, has a day job. It's with the Ministry of Defence, and when you ask him about it, he's not allowed to tell you about it. It's top secret. It was who copped for the challenge from Tony Adams, which I think was honest enough. But was certainly painful enough. Was the elbow. Wallace. Forward by Sherwood. Spencer trying to hold off Adams. Easier said than done. Ian Wright now with some space to run into. Alan Smith and Paul Merson in support. Right instead into the path of O'Leary. Cooper got back there. Wallace got it clear. Wilson. Batty. Spencer making a run down the centre. Sanderson out to the right-hand side. And nobody really to the left. Yeovil challenge has just lost a little bit of its exuberance. since Ian Wright gave Arsenal the lead. Just taken the confidence level down a notch or two, Arsenal. It's made it a little bit easier on themselves. Phil Ferns. Wilson's done well again. Spencer. Wilson looking for Sanderson. Finding Dixon. Cut out by Batty. Helped off the ball by Smith. Batty. Wilson trying to link up with Sanderson. Clem's getting in between them quite literally. One back by Batty momentarily, and then by Hillier. The real contest. O'Leary, Winterburn, Limpar making the run ahead of him. Held up by Dobbins. He's turned it back free and right though. We needed a touch from Alan Smith. Wright pivoting quickly. Limpar, the instigator of all that. Starting to get at Wayne Dobbins, his fullback. Wasn't too far away from Smith, was it? Better make his mind up. Clearance only as far as Merson. Just to see Arsenal hurried is enough to raise a cheer from the home supporters. But they're in need of a little more encouragement at the moment. The one-goal lead is never quite enough, but it's a lead that Arsenal are protecting with assuredness at the moment. They have a measure of control. It's come for Cooper to try his luck from range. It was awkward rather than really threatening to David Seaman. Richard Cooper's effort came to him awkwardly, and it came to Seaman awkwardly too. Coles and Shaw were not really on the same wavelength then. Doing well to find Limpar. This is Merson. Dixon stealing up to his right. Lee Dixon. A little rush of blood at the end. But Dixon and Merson back in tandem on the Arsenal right. It is good news for George Graham. Limpar giving them balance out on the left. There are 6 minutes of the first half remaining, and Yeovil needs something from somewhere. Ferns with a free kick, Bold with the header. Limpar. So, and the referee's brought play back when Winterburn had made a good run up to the halfway line because Dobbins was late on Limpar. And John Lloyd wants a word about it. Very late. Smith finding right. Managed to squeeze something out of the corner for Alan Smith. To squeeze a corner kick out of Andy Wallace. There's a buoyancy about Arsenal up front at the moment. 5 minutes of this first half remaining. Hillier in towards Smith. Good save on the line by Coles. Arsenal are master of the skies over Yeovil at the moment. They're having a lot of joy in the air. And Alan Smith will be a little disappointed he couldn't defeat Coles, who was actually stood behind the line, but just kept it on the honest side of the line. Here's Wilson. Batty. Dobbins. Limpar getting back to do some defending. Here's Ian Wright. Winterburn is forward in this attack. It's broken off Batty. It might just come for Winterburn here. He went down late, but got his free kick. Paul Batty, the offender. And the more of themselves that Yeovil give to trying to answer the cries of their supporters to get back into the game, the more doors Arsenal are opening on the break at the other end. That was a painful rap for Nigel Winterburn there. This is only his fourth game back after 6 weeks out through injury. This bit cold, George. Be warmed by Winterburn's recovery. Be warmed further still if Arsenal can take advantage with a goal 3 minutes before the break. It'll be Merson. It was a drifting rather than a curling shot from Paul Merson, not his best. And a sort of practice ground feel to it, didn't it? Didn't go out. Winterburn. Dobbins. Ball got his foot in. Hillier trying to get Ian Wright in behind Andy Wallace. Be a corner. Andy Wallace had a trial with Sheffield United in the summer and believes that Dave Bassett was quite interested in signing him. Limpar with the corner. Smith got the touch on Wright's there again. Couldn't quite direct it this time. But Yeovil have got no answer to Arsenal's set pieces. It's the same one, they know what's coming, it's doing something about it, that's the problem. Delivery is great to the near post. Wright, for once, just unable to deliver. Wallace. On by Dobbins. Spencer. Away by Adams. O'Leary. Dixon. Merson's made a great break down the centre of the field, and Dixon's picked him out. Merson's control just let him down under pressure from Cooper. But full marks for the run. And full marks for the covering play by Richard Cooper. He was tracking Merson all the way, and the ball just ran away from him, and Cooper was able to get body between man and ball. Now, is there something in the final minute of this first half for Sanderson? Or for Spencer, maybe? Seaman says no. Absolutely outstanding again in Aston Villa on Monday. Less trouble today. Sanderson. Wallace. Now it's opened up for him a little bit here. Winterburn. Limpart. Directed to pass to Merson. In towards Smith. Made contact. Couldn't chase in his own header. Curl's in charge. No flag against Wright. It was a tight one. Drawn away from Wallace. Now can Wright cash in? It's a beautiful chip. Yes, he can. A delicious goal from Ian Wright. Right on the stroke of half-time. 2 for him, 2 for Arsenal, and that could be the end of the fairy story. There was a question mark of offside before all that happened, but Wright didn't hang around to see there was a flag. That's a terrific finish. A player who is so much about pace and heart and competitiveness has a real touch of finesse about him too. And his goal output for Arsenal, 40 now in just 58 games, says it all. And in football parlance, he's done the business for Arsenal in this first half. And a very business-like Arsenal it's been too. Here's Paul Merson. So far, so good for George Graham's team, and particularly for Ian Wright. 2 more for him, 14 for the season. They've been businesslike, they've been brisk and battle-hardened, and perhaps above all they've been balanced with the return of their injured stars, and they lead Yeovil Town by 2-0 at the break. This is a sticky week for Arsenal, with a League Cup tie to come at Scarborough on Wednesday. A quarter-final place in that competition might change the look of their season. They are still just 7 points behind the title favourites Manchester United. I'm sure they'll be talking crisis, what crisis, if they come safely through this escapade in the West Country this afternoon. Ian Wright has certainly taken them a long way down the road. Throw-in conceded by Limpart. Taken by Dobbins. Certainly Paul Wilson has done his best in the way that he's led the Yeovil line today. Dobbins checked by Adams. Hillier. Space for Limpart. Well spotted by Wilson. Spencer. Tossed forward by Sherwood. Merson. On towards Wright again. Yeovil trying to get back with him. The one's right took on just a little bit too much. Merson. Challenges by Spencer. And the corner is Arsenal's. Certainly Yeovil not quite as intimidating a place to visit as it was back in '71 with the old slope. And George Graham and company were last here. It's come out as far as Hillier. Adams trying to make something of it. Bull trying to make something of it. And miraculously kept out. Well, it was shooting practice, wasn't it? It's like the range at the fair. And they couldn't knock the goalkeeper over. There's Smith. Plenty of chances there to finish it off once and for all. The best falling to Steve Bold, who hasn't scored since the opening day of the season. Set up by target man Tony Adams, who was fouled. Some say that. Yeovil are still to christen their splendid new crown with the scalp of a league club. They've beaten 3 in the cup since they came off the slopes 2.5 years ago, but all 3 away from Huish Park. The victory today would be some housewarming. It would be some kind of miracle too, the way that Arsenal are going about the task. Spencer trying to give them some hope. Ian Wright finding more and more space. In towards Smith. Not even he could quite stretch enough. Dobbins was fouled by Hillier. Smith, here goes Wright again, and there goes Coles again. He doesn't lack for courage, the Yeovil goalkeeper. Sherwood finding Wright just a little bit too hot to handle. Coles bravely in again. Limpar. Get out by Cooper, no handball. Sanders. Spencer finding Harrower. Here's Wilson. Given straight to Batty by Merson. Holding off O'Leary. Batty. Bowled up above Spencer. Accomplished play again by Arsenal. There's an authority about them again now. O'Leary. Winterburn for Wright. Alan Smith. Couldn't quite get the verdict he wanted out in the corner. Spencer in pursuit. Seaman will have to hurry. Spencer was blinded by the Arsenal keeper's gloves. There's an offside flag. And a free kick to Yeovil. Ferns with the free kick. Headed by Adams. Alan Smith. Limpar on for Hillier. Right is to his right. They're some distance away at the moment. Limpar. Now Wright's in a good position inside the box. Cross was deflected and that will be a corner. Phil Ferns, whose father Phil was a champion with Liverpool back in the 60s, played in Bill Shankly's side, alongside the likes of Ian St John and Roger Hunt. He's had a lot to live up to. Header at the near post this time was by Sanderson. Quite sure that's what David O'Leary meant. Hillier, though, for Limpar. Done well to squeeze a cross back. And Ferns it is who gets his head in the way. Very confident young fullback, Wayne Dobbins. Really enjoyed himself in midfield as O'Leary. Now Sanderson enjoying himself, stretching his legs in behind Winterburn. There are two waiting for the cross. It might come here for Batty. And he just couldn't quite grow enough. And that was maybe the little glimpse of an opportunity which Yeovil needed to lift them. May just be their last glimpse of an opportunity too. But they needed to pick me up. And the raw speed of Paul Sanderson and the hunting instincts of Paul Batty almost combined to give it to them. Couldn't quite get there on his favoured right foot. Ferns. It's a loose one from Wilson, and there haven't been too many. In right. Harrower. Spencer. Dixon had time. Winterburn. Instant control by Anders Limpar. Tumbled in the end by Andy Wallace. Limpar still down. To say he's had his ups and downs this season would be something of an understatement. Hasn't always taken the opportunities that George Graham has handed to him. He would argue there haven't been enough of them. Still not satisfied. Limpar restored. Arsenal seen off. Cooper though running straight into Hillier. This is O'Leary, and here goes Ian Wright with a great chance to take his hat-trick, which is denied him by the covering of Sherwood, and by an easy collect for David Coles. was a hat-trick in the final game of last season, which got him the golden boot in the end. As Gary Lineker will tell you, he came to sit down with him one evening. Substitute is Neil Coates, who performed the heroics for Yeovil in the last round, coming on as a substitute and scoring their winner in the replay at Hereford. Richard Cooper, who was a bit of a doubt for this game because of a knee injury, is the man who will be replaced. Coates' full-back stroke midfield player will drop in the right back, and Dobbins will drop into midfield. Yeovil have a free kick. David Cole's amazing career actually includes a European Cup tie during a spell with Helsinki in Finland. Some of these part-time players can keep you entertained all night with their stories of toing and froing at various levels of the game. Ian Wright in pursuit, trying to test Coles again. He's got goal side, he's chipped it past the keeper, and it won't quite get there. Coles will see to that. I'm not sure that it was bound for the goal anyway, but Neil Coates made doubly sure. Limpar. Impudent control by Wright, but Wally stuck to the task. But frustration at the moment for Ian Wright. Here he goes again. Dobbins given straight to Adams. Smith. Clearance by Ferns. By Dixon. Arsenal got caught a little bit there by Spencer, but Arsenal are still in possession. Ian Wright still hat-trick hunting. He did leg one, he completed leg two, but it was the right leg of Neil Coates which just denied him the treble. And now gone. Smith. Oof, I felt that. Phil Ferns it is, who is being told what day of the week it is, and which part of the world he's currently residing in. That was a direct hit. Played in 3 FA Cup finals, David O'Leary. Ferns is made of stern stuff, though. Restored by the physio Tony Farmer. And Arsenal continue on the attack. Coach got his head to it. A really combative game, Paul Wilson, number 9. This is Dobbins. Now can Sanderson get in a telling cross? He's found Dobbins. Challenges by Winterburn, and Yeovil Town have a corner kick. A little under half an hour to turn this game, really the game of football, on its head. They'll be holding the back pages if they could get one back. It's in towards the head of Sherwood, but Alan Smith doing some good defending. And Paul Merson. Arsenal have the opportunity to break with Limpar only right ahead of him. David O'Leary trying to get up to his right, but it's Ian Wright who's going on. Held back by Coates. Sanderson. Dobbins. Here's Sanderson again. Looking for Spencer. Header by Adams. O'Leary. Hasn't quite got all the equipment to make a world-class central midfield player. And he's had a real good stab at it this afternoon. Mining the fort for Arsenal. Sanderson brought down by Winterburn. Now, is this the moment? Merson away, as far as Harrower. Flags up. Spencer's header, comfortably dealt with anyway. Two of them caught. O'Leary. Merson. Limpar. I think it took a little bit of a bobble, in fairness to him, just before he struck it. Music to his ears on an afternoon when Arsenal leading 2-0. He won't mind the jeers at all. There's plenty of cheers when he gets back to Highbury. Wilson. Just bounced out of play. Smith. O'Leary. Header by Wallace. On by Wilson. One back by Hillier. Here's Wallace again. Dobbins. Now Coates. Forward by Batty. This is Spencer. Adams has been a rock for Arsenal. Smith. Now this is Batty. Deflected to him off Spencer. Wilson. Spencer. Sanderson to his right. 3 to aim for if he can get the cross in. David Seamer's punch. Cleared by Bold. Wallace. Bold again. Very capably dealt with by Arsenal once more. Merson. Really has been an exercise in pest control for Arsenal this afternoon, nothing more than that. They've been stretched and bothered at moments, but they put Yeovil fairly firmly in their place. Hillier. Bold. Limpar. Winterburn. I'm sure the Arsenal fans here, and a lot at home, would love to see Arsenal really open up and record the sort of big win, which might open a few eyes up and down the country and serve as a tonic for better times ahead. At the moment, their priorities are winning the tie, and they're meeting them pretty comfortably. Wallace trying to hold off Wright, he hasn't done so, and Wright has got his hat-trick. It's come midway through the second half, and Ian Wright signs the bottom of the game sheet, puts his signature on the afternoon with a hat-trick of opportunism and of class, which has eased a difficult situation for Arsenal today. His speed behind Yeovil has always been a problem, and his alertness and his courage to get there first earned him his third of the day. And any lingering question marks there may be over the outcome have surely now been banished. And 1993 has started with an air of new resolution for Ian Wright. Hillier into Dixon. Challenge was by Ferns. Really, it was in the FA Cup final of 1990 as a Crystal Palace substitute that he made his name with those 2 goals against Manchester United. And he's written his name all over this game. Merson. Hillier. The challenge by Spencer. Never at any stage of Yeovil even threatened to give up the ghost. This is Wilson. Well, he's deserved something from the afternoon for Wilson. He's actually postponed a hernia operation to play in this tie. His left wrist, which you can see his bandage is screwed up after a number of fractures. At 32 years of age, you don't get many opportunities to play against Arsenal. With that in mind, maybe Paul Nevin is about to be introduced. Even when Wright gives it away, he gets it back. Forward by Batty, but there's a flag for Spencer. Every major club has an FA Cup calamity or two to sweep under the carpet, but Arsenal have their very own chamber of horrors for Wrexham and York City in recent seasons. Peterborough, Northampton, Bradford, Walsall all send shudders through Arsenal fans of various ages. But never really any question that the famous cup-fighting name of Yeovil Town would be added to that list this afternoon. Ilya. Arsenal have called the tune from the first whistle. Good cross in towards Merson. Oh. Coach just had to jab it behind, unaware exactly what was happening behind him. All manner of things happening in front of him. Arsenal really starting to click now. Corner flicked on by Bold, just over the head of Adams. Paul Merson. It's been a very valuable exercise in getting the likes of Merson and Dixon and even Adams, after his suspension, back into the swing of things. Merson's missed the last 2 games because of an ankle problem. Here's Wilson. Coates motoring forward in support. Bold it was who was the buffer. Limpar. Get out by Batty. Wilson. Batty's onside. Seaman to the edge of his territory. Wilson again, on towards Spencer. Yeovil throw. Right again. Seen though by Ferns. Now Dobbins. Now, is there a moment of sweet consolation somewhere in the latter stages of this game for somebody in a green and white shirt, striped shirt? Maybe Dobbins. It was a fair attempt. A young man who had a spell with West Bromwich Albion. Came here on a free transfer from Torquay in the summer. And a 24-year-old fullback of good technique. No lack of confidence. Batty. Getting the return from Sanderson. Here is Sanderson again. Winterburn did well to recover his ground against a play so quick. Coates. Headed by Merson, which Seaman wasn't expecting. That really has summed up the mood of the closing stages for Arsenal. They've almost had the opportunity to take a pace back and enjoy the afternoon. Paul Nevin will enjoy the latter stages of the afternoon as Paul Wilson limps away to have his various injuries and ailments dealt with. Nevin quicker, bigger, younger. Much more raw though. Spencer seen off by Adams and Merson. Bit of swagger about Arsenal now, isn't there? Sanderson. O'Leary though for Winterburn. Ooh, Lee Dixon caught by Spencer and the Arsenal bench are up. And in the closing 15 minutes of a game which is surely won, that was a dangerously late challenge. Real concern for Lee Dixon. Well, this really could be a sour end to an afternoon which has been competitive but good-spirited. It's a yellow card for Mickey Spencer. Oof. It's always dangerous when a striker is sliding in like that and the fullback is kicking through the ball. It's a head-on collision of limbs. The damage doesn't seem to be too severe. It was a scare for Lee Dixon. And a free kick for Arsenal. Arsenal got the benefit of the doubt. Merson. And now it is a Yeovil throw. Smith. Good play by Batty. And by Wallace. No let up in the intensity of the match in many ways. Nevin has found Wallace again, and what a chance here for Spencer! Round Seaman, around the wrong side of the goal, penalty given. Spencer was impeded, presumably by Steve Bold as he got back there. And referee John Lloyd has given Yeovil the chance to end the afternoon with a flourish from the spot. Well, if Bold was penalised, it was harsh. There are 10 minutes remaining. Paul Batty, who's already popped in 4 penalties in this Yeovil Town FA Cup run, has a chance to score a famous goal in the history of a famous cup fighting club. They've got something from the day. Paul Batty's penalty has given it to them with 10 minutes to go. I don't think it'll affect the outcome of the game. But Yeovil Town, who've staged another memorable cup occasion in Somerset this afternoon, have at least registered through Batty's penalty. And when we look through the annals in years to come, the Arsenal supremacy won't look quite as great. Batty the scorer. He's actually on the transfer list here. And Betty's glad he hung around. Now, here they come again. This is Harrower. And Spencer's offside. That won't count. There'd been some noise if that flag had stayed down. Wasn't a great deal in it. Spencer penalised. Smith. It's come for Merson. Now Hillier. Right. Great cross. Limpar. Smith. Smuggled away somehow. Back in by Winterburn. And this time Alan Smith is offside. Just had a chance to end all the nonsense from Arsenal's point of view there, Smith. Silence the newfound optimism amongst the Yeovil faithful. And there's Limpar. Arsenal seems stung by that Yeovil penalty. They may have 16 senior cup victims to their name, but only 2 from the upper reaches of the league, Sunderland of the first division and Bury of the second, both in that famous Alex Stock Cup run of 1949. This season's Yeovil casualties, Torquay and Hereford, both picked off from the bottom 4 of the third division. It was a very, very different and very, very tall order for them today. And Arsenal have had the measure of their opponents for much of the day. But Yeovil's tenacity has never been in doubt. And they're still biting away. Here's Coates. Burns, Nevin, Dobbins. Wright getting back with a challenge, only for Spencer though. Harrower. Almost through for Wallace. Winterburn stole it away from him, and here goes Anders Limpar on the break. Going past Coates as if he's not there. He's there now. Just over 5 minutes remaining. The referee was convinced that it was a foul. Here's Limpar again. In towards Smith. Hooked away by Ferns. A bit too long this time. Merson though. Oh! Jeff Sherwood was the Yeovil defender who almost meddled with fate. Couple of feet to spare. Corner cleared by Wallace. Winterburn. Roars of derision, but it's inch perfect for Merson, and that's inch perfect for Smith, who didn't get hold of it at all. That was right up Alan Smith's streak. Disappointing header. Coates. Nevin. Batty. Wallace taking over. On by Smith. Here goes Ian Wright. He's got away from them once again. Coates got to him though. Spencer. On by Wallace. Went over Winterburn's challenge and wins a free kick for Yeovil. last 3 minutes. Dobbins, Wallace, Adams, right though, only for Sherwood. A little bit of space here for Dobbins on the volley. Rather tired effort by Wayne Dobbins. But they haven't conceded an inch, Yeovil. They've kept at it right into these dying minutes of the game. You couldn't say Arsenal have had an easy ride. They've had a pretty smooth ride on the whole. But much of that's been down to them. Spencer. Still opportunities. Sanderson. Cleared by Adams. Harrower. Nevin was leaning in there, but Boulder was always just a short head in front of him. Corner conceded by Hillier. Arsenal will be grateful that the clock is running down. Harrower's cross, headed by Adams, volleyed by Batty. It was a clean strike. Lost his sense of direction a little bit. Good strong header by Adams which cleared the box, but it fell perfectly for Batty. No time for Yeovil to brood. They have 2 more cup ties next week. They're in 3 more competitions altogether. The FA Vars road to Wembley opens next weekend, and their part-time squad will probably take on 70 games or so before the season is through. This one will always stick out in their minds. But it will stick out in the mind of Ian Wright too. Losing out to Harrower. He is Batty, the Yeovil goal scorer. Coates. Sanderson. Dobbins. Nevin. Good defending by Dixon. Well, Limpar cut down now. And it's been combative to the last. And Arsenal have had to stand up for themselves, something they're well capable of doing. They've had to match Yeovil for effort and for determination and for aggression at times in order to make the superior skills of Merson and Wright and Limpar and company shine through. And they've done all that. It's been a perfect exercise in dealing with a difficult cup draw. And for most of these Yeovil players, it's back to work on Monday. They won't forget their weekend though. Limpar. Throw-in is Yeovil's. Sanderson. Spencer. Wallace. Come for Winterburn. Almost 2 minutes of added time played. Sanderson. Another brave but broken cut dream. Arsenal back to business, showing no sentiment, no mercy, but showing A keen eye in front of goal from Ian Wright, who looks as if he's going to keep that football for himself, and why not? He beat David Coates on 3 occasions, crucially probably on the stroke of half-time. But Arsenal always had the better of their opponents, who had the consolation of a Paul Batty penalty to remember the day. Their name will reappear in future FA Cup flights of fancy. Nothing's more certain than that. But Arsenal, still in both cups, still in the championship race, went on to win the double the last time they won here in Yeovil. George Graham was a player then. He's the manager of a team that are still contenders. They've won comfortably this afternoon, 3-1.